Cashiers of Reddit. What products make you silently judge the person who buys them? Had a teenage girl come in with several members of her family. They all came up to the counter practically in tears and bought a pregnancy test. She then went into our bathroom to take the test, which I thought was odd. Seems like the kinda thing you do in the sanctity of your own home. Then the girl comes out, bawling, and then her family starts bawling and they are making a huge scene in the middle of my store. It was super duper awkward. Ex-cashier of 5 years here. After a while you don't notice and it all becomes the same because you're so familiar with the items your store carries. Only time I have made an extreme judgment based on items purchased was when a man came in and purchased peanut butter, dog treats, condoms, lube and rogue. Not even joking. Yeah, that's the condom game. You try to buy the stuff that'll freak out the cashier the most. Donuts, donut holes, super glue. I work in a bookstore. I've had people read with shame while they bought 50 Shades of Grey and make comments about how I must think they're idiots. Look, I don't give a what you buy. At least you're reading and keeping my store open. Do you also get the weekly old men who proudly slap down their mag on the counter? I used to work for Borders and those were always the nicest old men. No creepers. LOL. That was my grandpa. Awesome guy. Kept them hidden in the trunk of his car. Always would forget them in the grandchildren rooms when they left. All teenagers. One of our customers buys anywhere from 25-32 bottles of laxatives a week. Every week and not the oral kind either. I didn't judge but it's a great story. I saw a guy in the condom aisle looking absolutely baffled. I am a pharmacist and went to help. With an inward sigh. Some people have no idea how to use them. He said, I have no idea what I'm looking at. There are so many. I've been fixed for almost 20 years. But my boy's going to college. And I don't want him bringing STDs or any babies home with him. He got really excited when I told him about spermicide and bought 5-6 dozen count boxes. That's a good dad. Okay, quick story. I have an ultra-conservative Asian mom, who never ever even mentioned sex, ever. When I got out of boot camp to my first duty station, everyone was getting care packages from home. Cookies, civilian clothes, etc. I got one from my mom. It was about 100 condoms, assorted boxes, with a note. Please be safe, and we will never talk about this package. Love mom. That's hilarious. Probably not so much for you at the time. My dad tried giving me the talk when I was 19. When I realized where he was going, I stopped him. Dad, I was having sex 3 years ago. I know how it all works. Bracelets that harness the healing energy of magnets. Freshman year of high school, I was a cashier at a local grocery store. There was an upscale organic cupcake boutique in town that sold their cupcakes for about $4 each. It was ridiculous, but people still bought them. Anyway, the owner would come in every other week and buy about 20 boxes of Betty Crocker cupcake mix and frosting. She must have had like a 2000% rate of return on those things. Every week, this woman bought a shopping cart full of toilet paper. It wasn't my business to ask why, but was curious. How could anyone or any family use so much of it? One day, she said that she was glad it finally went on sale, because she donated most of it each week to the 2 homeless shelters in town. I thought that was so great. Cashiered at Home Depot. Had a dude in his mid-20s pull up to my register with rope, duct tape, cleaning gloves, tarp, bleach, Febreze, cookies, bucket, sponges. I rung him up. I didn't even notice what he'd purchased until he came back in. He just said, dude, I could be planning a murder and you didn't even care. What the F? I just lost $20. Then he went to return everything except the cookies. True story. I got judged by a cashier once. I was working in a welding and fabrication facility at the time as a repair guy. Since I wasn't one of the welders, I would often get tasked with whatever needed doing. The particular job at the time required ultrasonic testing of bends made in some tubing to ensure proper wall thickness. We had one tube of ultrasound gel. Sure enough, the tube got knocked off the table and run over by a forklift. The job was very time critical and we need to do the ultrasounds now. A good substitute for ultrasonic gel is KY. I grabbed a fistful of petty cash and rushed over to a nearby grocery store and grabbed every tube of KY they had. I then ran up to the cashier who then rang up tube after tube after tube. I was in such a rush that I really hadn't thought about the normal use of KY. As she was looking at me oddly and silently ringing up my purchase, I said something like it has been crazy at work today. The look on her face was priceless. Halfway out of the parking lot I realized what happened. We all had a good laugh about it at work and I had the nickname of KY for a few days. This isn't exactly the same thing, but I used to work at AutoZone. One day a customer came in and asked if there were any deals on our strongest antifreeze. I asked him if he meant the lowest temperature rating and he said no, the one with the most ethylene glycol. I was really confused and asked him what he needed it for and he told me it was because his neighbor's kids just got kittens and they were trespassing on his property. I excused myself and went back to my boss, the store manager, and told him, and he told me I had to make the sale. I had to sell him 4 gallons of antifreeze to kill some defenseless kittens and absolutely crush his neighbor's kids. I try to never say I hate anybody and I never wish harm on anybody, but yeah, the new stuff is embittered by law, though not in all places, so the cats would have likely not gotten into it anyway. A Vietnamese lady came in a day after Valentine's Day to buy candy. She bought hundreds of bags. I made a joke about how the dentist bill must be insane. And she told me how she sends the candy to orphan homes in Vietnam because they don't have candy there apparently. Don't judge a book by its cover, guys. I know a guy that purchases cases of water-based lube every other week to donate to homeless shelters. Not a cashier, but I worked in fulfillment for Amazon for 4 years. I can't tell you how many times I checked out the name on the label for a shipment of questionable combinations. Memorable shipments: lube and baby Einstein video, 16 bottles of laxatives and adult diapers. Anytime someone orders Thai HRs 101. What you must know about SX and P toots before coming to Thailand. I worked as a cashier at Kmart once and it was like my 3rd week there, and then this couple came into my line. They were buying lube, tissues and condoms. As awkward as it was, I had to ring them up. Then out of the complete blue the guy asks me, "Hey, you should ask me what I'm going to do with those." My supervisor turns and looks me dead in the eyes as a literal ball of sweat drips from my brow. I'm awestruck. I continue to ring them out in silence, then I say I'd rather not. They both laugh at me and I just continue to ring them out. Heavy judgment because the chick was really hot. I did this in college. My friend and I bought adult diapers XL, condoms, and baby food. Our cashier was unfazed and we were disappointed. I work in a pharmacy. People buy condoms with anything. Incontinence pads, heating gloves, rubber gloves. The strangest I've seen is a woman buying several packs of lube in front of her 4 kids. 2 of them around 16/17. They looked devastated. Picture it. The 31st of October, 1974. My mom sends 11-year-old me to the store for a bag of apples. And my dad needs Gillette razor blades. The cashier looks at me like I just took a dump on her conveyor belt. Not a cashier, but I have a story. I got rectal cancer at age 28. I had my rectum removed. During recovery I became completely incontinent. So I had to start wearing Depends. Just for clarity, I'm a tall, skinny, relatively well-dressed young woman. The teenage boy checking me out at Walmart let out a quiet damn when he bagged them. Dude, I'd just assume your grandma sent you to the store. I've bought them a few times, and it was always for my grandma and I never even thought twice about it. The only time I really judged someone was when he came in and found a perfume he liked and bought 2. I said, it would probably be a good idea if you have 2 women in your life. Thinking wife, mother, daughter, etc. To get them something different. He said, "Oh, no. One is for my wife, the other for my girlfriend. If they wear the same perfume I don't have to worry about my wife smelling my girlfriend's perfume on me." I mean, that is smart, but it's also shitty. Once I went into a Victoria's Secret to buy a Valentine's gift for my girlfriend. The cashier asked me, "Would you like to join the Bra of the Month club?" I asked her what it was, and she said, not knowing if I was married or not, "You get one bra shipped to you every month which you can give to your wife or girlfriend." I said, "Can I get one for each of them?" And she looked at me kind of horrified until I started laughing. Not a cashier either, but when my friend would buy Depends, you could tell the cashier and everyone in line would judge him hard. He was a 23-year-old college kid who still peed the bed when he drank. He tried his best. Man, no, he didn't wear them to parties. He tried to remember to put them on when he drunkenly got home. This led to him putting them on backwards multiple times. This effectively kept his peed out of his diaper and in his bed. Once he forgot to put them on and brought a girl home. Let's just say he convinced her that he drunkenly showered in the middle of the night. Her ride home must have been mortified. He's not my friend anymore. I'm a clerk at a convenience store. Not something I judge harshly for. Just something I've noticed and I think is funny. Teenagers buying condoms. Most adults buying condoms just come in, grab the condoms, pay for them, and leave. Most people are having sex, and adults realize that no one cares. Teenagers buying condoms are super awkward about it though. Typical scenario. A couple comes in. They look like they're about 15 or 16. The girl hangs out by the front door, looking around awkwardly or just staring at her phone. The boy will walk up and down the candy aisle. Candy on one side, health and beauty stuff on the opposite side. Pretending to look at candy, but keep looking at the condoms to try to see what the selection is without looking like he's looking at condoms. Bonus awkwardness if he texts his girlfriend to ask her opinion while she's standing right in front of me waiting. He'll then grab the absolute cheapest piece of candy he can find, and a box of Trojan fire and ice. Every time. The way the kid wants it to look is, "I dragged my girlfriend down because I absolutely needed a single lemon head right this second. But I suppose I'll grab condoms while I'm here." Then after one of them pays, they'll quickly walk away with their heads huddled together acting like they just got away with something. I always want to tell them that they don't have to treat it like something shady or dirty, and that no one gives a shit. But I'm happy they're using protection, and I worry that even mentioning it would embarrass them enough to risk not coming in next time. I worked at Walgreens. I was zoned out as a customer places a box down at the counter. Cashier bot mode engaged. I mutter, "How are you doing today?" as I scan the object. It is a pregnancy test. I glance up at a man who is about 45, or as I think of it, that age that there is no way this is good news at 9 p.m. on a weeknight. His eyes are puffy and red. His face was equal parts sadness and anger. 16 years old and throwing her life away. I tried to nod sympathetically. I don't think he noticed. I was so relieved when that interaction was completed. Cashier bot mode re-engaged. I used to work at a local pharmacy and a regular customer came in. The only items he purchased were a wrist brace and a tube of KY jelly. He must have noticed me looking at the items and he said, "I swear these are unrelated, whatever helps you sleep at night, dude." I used to work at a Save a Lot as a cashier. Our client base tended to be a little lower on the economic ladder. At the first of the month, when the benefits get loaded to their cards, I always hated to see people push a cart up full of soda, chips, etc. These people also usually tended to be in poor health. I didn't really judge them. I more felt pity for them. I also didn't like seeing people who would come in with the PIN number for their card on a piece of paper. It was a small town. I know that wasn't your card. I didn't hold it against the people who had the misappropriated card, but more against the people who sold their $300 worth of food stamps for $150 so they could buy alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, etc. The sad part was, a lot of the people selling had not a cashier, but I learned the other day that apparently you get judged for buying alcohol at 7 a.m. The cashier was pretty vocal about it, and if I wasn't so non-confrontational, I would have told a manager. She flat out said something along the lines of, "It's a little too early for boozing up." Don't you think 1. None of your business if I'm drinking early in the morning. 2. It was on sale during a routine trip to get milk and such. Am I supposed to just leave it and come back after 5 p.m. to buy my alcohol? However, when I got home, I realized how my entire purchase looked. I got milk, chocolate milk, Lunchables, also on sale, and a strawberry daiquiri. She probably thought I had kids or something, so I understand her concern. Kind of. She didn't have to say anything, though. It really struck a nerve. We sell Batman underwear that comes with an underwear cape at my work. I always have a little bit of judgment when those come through my line. Also, when old people buy leggings. Not a cashier, but I shop at Whole Foods. Invariably there will be someone in front of me. She will have some $30 snake oil supplement and an overloaded container of prepared food, the kind where you pay by the pound. She will pull out cash as she is rung up and realize that she doesn't have enough to cover both, so she takes the snake oil and leaves the food, which cannot be resold. I assume not only is she a moron for buying some bull supplement, but is hoping the cashier will let her keep the food once it has been voided, since it is going into the trash. Wife was buying stuff for camping. Hatchet, rope, some duct tape for the hole in the tent, small shovel and matches. The cashier was looking at her and she just bursts out, "Husband pissed me off for the last time." Cashiers, I bugged out and just let her go. Wife and daughter come out and are laughing and crying. I work at a golf course and a medium bucket costs $7 for 40 balls while a jumbo is $13 for 100 balls. When people come in and get 2 mediums for $14, it instantly makes me think they're idiots. In case you're stupid too, 2 mediums is $1 more for 20 less balls.